hello there. Welcome back to another episode of Project E46. This is another episode where I spend a good chunk of money and have no tangible gain. That's a fun one. But yes, fortunately, my dad pointed out when he looked at the E46 that my tags were due. I got the renewal notice and totally forgot about it, so I had to go dig it up out of all my papers and files. And it turns out my registration for the E46 is due tomorrow. So today I get the pleasure of going and getting a smog inspection done on the car. That way I can renew my registration for this car. So, astute viewers will think to themselves, this sounds like a really familiar scenario. Have I seen this episode before? No. Well, you may have. When I first got the car a little over a year ago, I made an agreement with the previous owner that I would handle smog, which is required when transferring ownership of the vehicle. So that was a smog test just to show that the car is legal so I could transfer ownership over to me. I'm due again this year for registration because following the sale date of the car, every 2 years after that, excluding a 6-year initial abatement period, every 2 years effectively after that, the car has to be smog inspected in order to be registered in the state of California. And I guess 2018 is the year for this car. I'll blur it out, but here's my paperwork right here. It basically says I need to take this vehicle and get a smog certification at a required STAR station. STAR smog is a slightly different form of regular smog inspection. It's usually for older cars that are more prone to fail or be gross polluters. Obviously, this car being a 1999, it's 19 years old, so it's probably going to get a STAR requirement probably at every registration from now on. But that's okay. As far as I'm aware, everything I've done to this car is still fully compliant with California law. That's kind of why I've been very mild with the engine upgrades. I want to keep this thing as hassle-free and reliable and legal as possible. So hopefully it's just a matter of going there, passing the test, and then getting this car renewed on the registration. That said, I'm taking some precautions before I just show up. It's always good to drive the car before the smog inspection, get everything up to temperature, get everything nice and warm. That way it lowers the emissions a little bit. So I'm driving it around Long Beach, running errands, and kind of just generally getting the coolant warm, getting the oil warm, and kind of getting everything nice and ready to roll. Being a pre-2000 car, I have the harder version of the smog test. Newer cars, they just do an OBD2 test, where they literally plug a tester in your OBD2 port. If there are no fault codes and the car does not fail a visual inspection, you're good. Being a pre-2000 car, this actually has to go on a dyno and be load tested, which is a slightly more expensive and more time-consuming process. But again, hopefully the car should pass. Should just be a matter of paying like $60 for the test and then getting on with it. So let's check back in a couple minutes once I've driven the car around Long Beach, got nice and hot, and I will be at the smog inspection station. What is up, guys? Sitting outside the Smog station now. Car got through the test and everything is a pass, unsurprisingly. Here's the print off they gave me. Every single thing passed, no problem. And looking at all the actual measured results, they're all super low, which is good. It means the catalytic converters in this car are working properly and the engine's running super duper clean, which I kind of knew it was. But it's good to know that I passed, trouble-free, no issues. Now the Smog station is going to send all of the past results to the DMV, and now I can get the car renewed for another year, which is exciting. You know what's funny is it's the same. Astute viewers will notice it's the same Smog place I took this car to last year when I first bought it, and it was bone stock. And it's like the same family that runs that place, and they were super stoked on the car. The young guy who was running the dyno with this thing, he was like asking about drifting and like the whole deal, what I'd done with the car. I showed him a few clips of me drifting at the track. So stoked on it. And the woman behind the counter, she's owned a couple BMWs over the years. She likes the car, and she would, you know, basically they were all stoked on it, and you know, awesome. You know, it's always cool to see people appreciate all the fun shit you do with cars and in kind of a different viewpoint, different way. So yeah, they were down. Shout out to the mobile gas station Smog joint off of, what is it? Redondo. Shout out to those guys. So yeah, car passed, trouble-free. Figured it would. Not surprised. It's just nice to get that thing done, get the registration renewed, and then get back out on the road and hopefully get drifting again soon. So thank you very much for watching, and stay tuned for the next episode where I go do more fun things. Bye.